I'm asking you to think differently in this realm because so many people rely on learning styles. You know what I mean? You find how they learn best, and then you teach everything that way. Well, I believe that it's very inefficient to teach like that. Now, let that soak in for just a minute because it kind of blows people's minds sometimes. But if you think about it, there's certain information that needs to come in tactily. You know, if you wanted to get information about sand, you could look at it. You know, there's some patterns there. You can't hear sand unless it's put in a tube and pulled down, you know, and makes a sound. But to really understand about sand, you have to feel it. So tactily, that information needs to come in there. And like if you have a sunset, you can't hear a sunset, you can't feel a sunset, you have to see it. So there's certain things that need to come in efficiently, certain ways. If you were going to learn to cut hair, you would want to do it tactily. And there's certain academic things that are also that way. So if you wanted to teach math facts, for instance, you tend to see, you know, 2 + 6, and you hear in your brain 8. So it's more of an auditory. So it's best to put math facts in auditorily. But to make math easier, the process of math, the concept of addition, subtraction, multiplication, it's really visual. So let's take long division, for instance. So if you have,
I don't think I know anybody that likes long division.
Well, and what do we usually do? We say, okay, now we're going to divide, and this bracket means we're going to divide, and the number over here is called this, and the number under here is called that, and we say that and that, and we're just talking, and they're looking at us like, I know you're watching a movie, Mom, but I have no clue what you're saying. You know, because we just talk. And math operations, we found, best come in visually. So if you just say 5 goes into 2, no. 5 goes into 25, yes. How many times? You know, just those few key words, and take them step by step by step, and spend about 10 minutes or less on that, and come back and do that again, and you do a problem or two, and they do a problem after that. You cannot believe, Peggy, how much easier math is when you use that kind of technique.
Right, you're making the bridges for them instead of asking them to make them themselves, because those concepts in math are so difficult for a child to create them themselves. And I think a lot of curriculums do require our kids to do that. So that's an interesting approach. I've never looked at it that way.
Yes, and math facts, it's true for the operations. If you do a couple and then they do one, and you do a couple and they do one, and they don't make a mistake, they don't have to relearn something that they thought they knew. Right. And that takes a long time too. So if you're just sitting with them for short periods of time and doing this input, learning is so much easier. But math facts, you know what we do is we hold up those cards, and I call them magic cards because they've got to be magic, or because you want something to come out of their brain, right? You've got 4 + 5 and a blank, and then you want something to come out of their brain. Well, if it's not in there good, it's not going to come out good. Right. So we have a whole different system that we use called rapid recall, where in just 6 minutes a day, they see, hear, say, and write 5 math facts 14 times. Now, you would think that would take a long time, but 12 of those times is input, information going in, and only 2 times is information coming out, and it just makes all the difference.
Oh, I can imagine.
I had a lady come to the booth one time, and she said, my twins are autistic, and they hate math. Anytime I get anything out that resembles a number, they just freak out and, and go the other way. And she said, after a week of this, because it was just all input, and after a week of this, the child said, well, I like math. I can do this. And so those kind of things are really, really rewarding.